Before I begin the video, credit goes to PC Gamer for the 4K footage towards the end of the video, and Google Gemini AI and Copilot Microsoft AI. Hey everyone, Realms Upper 4099 here with what made the original Deus Ex great. I'm here to talk about one of my favorite games of all time for PC, which also got ported over to PlayStation 2, Deus Ex. In this video I will cover what made the game great. Number 1, the budget. First, let's talk about the budget. With AI estimates thanks to Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot, I estimate the budget was between $5 to $7 million. The studio was small and efficient, which is something the gaming industry needs again for many of its AAA developers. More was made with less, and the team at Ionstorm Austin delivered gold. Therefore, having a small budget actually helped the game because things were done efficiently and there wasn't a lot of developers to micromanage. Everyone probably had a task to do and did it well without having to manage multiple teams or juggle assets from one office to the next. Number 2, complexity. The year was 2000, 1 year before 9/11, and one of the best video games ever created was released by the masterminds at Ionstorm Austin. Deus Ex, The Conspiracy. A game so well developed, so complicated, that when I first played it, I needed a guide to understand how to play it. The gaming industry has changed a lot since, but the game has withstood the greatest test of all, the test of time. That's what made the game great as well. It has depth. Complexity means you still learn things 20 to 30 hours into the game that you can apply on your next playthroughs. From hacking an ATM to solving the missions your own way, I prefer to go stealth and non-lethal playthroughs, also digging in deep in the dialogue options. Go wherever you want to go, do whatever you want to do. The game has depth, and that's why people still play it and mod it today. Number 3, strong developer background. Most of you already know the background of the Ionstorm Austin staff: studio director Warren Spector, project lead Harvey Smith, music by Alexander Brandon and Dan Gardopi, excuse me for the pronunciation there, and Michael Van de Bus. Also writers Sheldon Pacodi, Warren Spector, Chris Todd, and Austin Grossman, along with the entire Ionstorm Austin and Adios Montreal staff. With experienced developers and a publisher as well, the game would have a strong foundation. Number 4, word of mouth. I just want to share my thoughts now that it's been 25 years since the release of the game. When I first got the game, I didn't even know it existed until I read a PC Gamer article on the magazine. Back then, print magazines were doing alright, and printable media was a thing. It was really mind-blowing the options available in the game. Gaming forums, your friends, and gaming websites. Deus Ex became Game of the Year for a reason, and thanks to word of mouth. Number 5, the perfect storm of developers. Deus Ex in essence really was the perfect storm of developers. What Final Fantasy VII was to the PlayStation in terms of impact and craftsmanship, Deus Ex The Conspiracy and Deus Ex Game of the Year Edition was to PC. I also believe it came out for PS2. Well, I already said that, but it was received there okay as well. The game had modest sales. It wasn't like a super multi-million-dollar seller. Eventually, it probably did reach millions of sales, but I believe Warren Spector was quoted in an interview saying initially it sold around 500,000 copies for PC. Number 6, strong writing. Really, I think what made the game so interesting was the incredible writing, voice acting, conspiracy-oriented. It was far-fetched future far-fetched, but a lot of what happened in Deus Ex happened in real life, too, with the pandemic and whatnot. The difference is in Deus Ex, the vaccine's not readily available, but in our real world, thankfully, those who produced that vaccine made it readily available. So, yeah, thanks to the writing, Sheldon Pacodi and everyone who was involved, it was just incredible. It's basically a game where every conspiracy is true. Number 7, level design and options for the players. The ability to choose what happens in the plot up to a point really was special for that time. You have to realize back in the 2000s, a lot of people were still on dial-up internet. Fiber optic and broadband internet wasn't widely available. Games weren't regularly patched. At that time, if you were lucky, you had DSL. One inspector was quoted, or one of the developers was quoted once on an interview, that they wanted to add the option to for you to stay where you NACO, but they probably didn't have enough time, or it wasn't possible with the technology, or just probably time, because it took them 3 years or so, or maybe a little more, but yeah. And number 8, an incredible soundtrack and sound effects. Besides that, the music was fantastic, really, and set the atmosphere. With the limited technology of the 2000s, they really pushed the Unreal Engine 2.0 to the maximum. Hats off to the music developers and sound effects that made it to the game, because it made it a complete package. In retrospect, now that we're approaching 2026, it's time to reinstall and play Deus Ex Game of the Year Edition. Available for pennies on the dollar. Why play the microtransaction trash filled $70 so-called AAA games when you can get more value from this classic? See you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Take care.